Hey, how's it going? Checking in for today, and I went to a networking event this morning again, the Tame Buzz, which I've been to a few times. It's the one that's sort of linked with the big buzz that I gave the air quotes keynote talk at a couple of weeks ago. I don't know why I do air quotes for that because it was actually a keynote, but it wasn't like a big conference keynote. So in my mind, I've got to keep the two things separate. But anyway, it was a useful event, a useful networking session. I'm not really one for doing loads of networking things, as I think I've mentioned before in these video check-ins, but this one it's just a really nice group of people. So even if it doesn't come up with loads of really good contacts, who then leads to loads of really great work, it's just a really nice way to spend a couple of hours on a once a month. So I know that I've got to be a bit more judicial perhaps with how I spend my time, but the thing with networking is you just don't know how much of an impact it's having, how effective it's being. So it's sometimes it's a bit of a slow burn, sometimes it's a bit more immediate. So, but yeah, there could have been some work out of this one. I just got to keep on following up with the various contacts that I made. Anyway, yes, so I had a meeting afterwards. I had lunch with a chap, a banker actually, someone who I'd met at the Big Buzz a couple of weeks ago, who runs events. He's basically a business development manager, and he runs various events from time to time for some of his clients. And he's got this vision of running an event and sort of having me as a key feature of that event, sort of a well-being event, and inviting people along to it, his contacts, his network, the clients that he looks after, and some of their contacts as well. And potentially being a really good audience for me. Now, this is another non-paid speaking engagement. I've got to be really careful with these. I feel like I'm treading a sort of fine line at the moment between doing paid stuff and non-paid stuff. I can't really afford to be doing too many unpaid talks, because it's just not the best way of positioning myself. I can't really be positioning myself as a reasonably well paid or reasonable fees keynote speaker if I'm also doing loads of free sessions as well. So it's really got to be about the audience, and I suspect that I've said yes to this, and we're going to look at putting something on in July. I'm going to work with him to put something together, but I suspect that this will be the last one like this that I do for a while, just because of those reasons. That there's a really good Facebook meme that says one guy is saying to a speaker, he's saying, "Oh, this would be fantastic exposure for you as a speaker," and the speaker's going, "Fantastic, that's great. My rent's 100 exposures a month." And of course, you can't live in a house and live inside and eat food if you're just being paid in exposures all the time. So yes, it is important to be paid. Yes, it is important that this is a viable part of my business model and strategy, but I'm also kind of looking at doing these the very occasional unpaid talk. Don't want to use the word free, but certainly an unpaid talk, if it does look like it has the potential to be an effective lead generator for more work. And it doesn't even have to be just leading speaking work. I want to be out there speaking, but actually it could lead to more of the coaching work, could lead to more of the training work, could lead to all sorts of other things. So it was a good meeting. He's a really nice chap. Really kind of looking forward to working with him and his team to put that together in July. And just got to keep. I'm still on the case with all the other things, all the slow burn stuff, the things that are current opportunities. I'm pushing, I think some things feel like they're getting closer. Some things feel like they're just sort of bobbling along and not really getting anywhere. So I've just got to keep on top of all of it. Make sure I don't let any of them fall through the cracks. So there is my check-in for the day. The main thing has been about this unpaid event versus paid event, paid speaking gig versus unpaid speaking gig. And how to get that balance, because I've not really done very many of the unpaid ones, and certainly not the last couple of years, which is good, but it does also mean that I'm sort of looking at this as is it a viable way of building my speaking brand, my speaking business by doing some of the unpaid gigs to get those exposures? Is there actually merit in doing that? And if so, what's the balance in terms of the number of them that I do? Anyway, food for thought. Lots of things to think about there. Tomorrow I am off to an event with my speaking agent. Actually, she's hosting Dame Stella Rimington, the ex-MI5 chief, who's also a speaker at the same agency as me, and she's speaking at the National Archives in Kew. And I've been invited along as well as one of Diana's guests to listen to the talk, which is all about the Cold War, and because she was head of station during the Cold War. So it'll be quite interesting, very interesting, I'm sure, but also another really good potential networking occasion, because there'll be lots of Diana's other speakers there and also a lot of her clients as well. So who knows what might come of that. So I will be checking in again tomorrow with another update. For now, give it a YouTube thumbs up, like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and check back in again tomorrow for another daily update. Bye for now.